Wait, did it say? Hold on. Recording audio. Okay, so it's working. I got everything working. Um, wait. Let me relight my cigar and then we'll get into this video. Oh, there's smoke on the camera, bro. All right, so look, I know I haven't uploaded in probably 2 weeks now. The goal is to upload on this channel at least once a week. I'm just gonna be honest. I don't like the state that America is in right now. I'm not feeling very hopeful about our future right now, and it kind of put me in a weird funk. And I've been escaping reality through other means. So I kind of put off everything lately, and I'm trying not to do that. I don't want to get into things politically. I don't want to get into politics. That's not what this channel is about. I promise you, we're not going to sit here and talk about politics all day. But things are not making me feel very hopeful. So there's that whole thing. On top of that, without going into too much detail, I would definitely in the future talk more about what's going on once I've moved away from this whole situation. But it's still happening. There's this whole thing going on with my family's apartment's neighbors, and it's still a thing that I'm dealing with. Long story short, my family lives in a small apartment. They have entitled neighbors who will not grow up and take responsibility for themselves. So that got me on Reddit. I don't know if you guys use Reddit. Reddit is this like part of the internet that you go to read I wouldn't call them articles. They're like, you type out this whole post about a certain topic, and then people can just comment about it and give their input or tell you that you're stupid, you're an asshole, or be like, nah, man, you're right. Like, this is wrong. Or like, yeah, I agree with this. Or people will share information and help each other out. And I think it's super cool. So I was on Reddit. I found a subreddit called Entitled People. And man, some of these posts are a long wall of text. A lot of them are worth reading through. And if you're like me, man, if you hate entitled people, oh man, the last video I made, those people were entitled, man. Those people were entitled. I hate entitled people. I'm dealing with entitled people like almost every day because my family's apartment. And I was talking to a friend yesterday about entitled people, and we just can't understand why people are like this, why they feel like the world owes them everything without giving anything. You know, there's a saying that a lot of people live by, and that's live and let live. Right? You don't go out of your way to be a super Karen and ruin everybody's fun because you're miserable. You need to live and let live. Live your life. Let others live their life. As long as you or they are not harming anybody or themselves, it shouldn't be a big deal. But it seems like a lot of people take that live and let live and then forget about the let live part. Because if you're doing something, right? If you're living your life, but it's causing suffering of other people around you, you're not letting live. You're just living. And you're being very selfish and entitled. I think a lot of people miss the let live part in live and let live. I don't know how you get to that point in your head where you're like, fuck everybody. I'm the most important person on this planet, you know? And you need to suffer for me to feel good about myself. Today is Saturday. Lots of clouds, lots of rain. Pulled out the leather jacket so the rain will just wash right off. I don't have to worry about my hoodie getting soaked. It looks good, right? I haven't wore this in maybe over a year. I'm glad I found it. It looks great. So, because it's Saturday, gotta enjoy a cigar. And while I enjoy this cigar, I'm gonna read you 5 stories I found on this subreddit entitled People. I will leave the link to these posts in the description below if you want to read the comments through any of these that you found interesting. I'm just gonna read through these, give my opinions, my inputs. Try not to get mad for these people that have to deal with this bullshit. And I think it'll make a good video. Today, we're gonna talk about entitled people. I have the screenshots here on my tablet so I can read them to you guys in the video. This one's titled, Woman Demands I Call the Police Because of Her Car in Handicap Spot. So today I drove my mother to an appointment. We both qualify for handicap parking, and I do have handicap plates. I walked my mother into the office where she has an appointment, and there is almost no seating. So I tell her I'll wait outside since I don't need to be in the appointment with her. It is a really nice day, so I sit on a concrete retaining wall about 15 feet from my car and read on my phone. After about 20 minutes, I notice a woman about my age has pulled up behind my car and is just looking at it. After a couple of minutes, she spots me, comes over, and demands I let her use my phone. I ask her why. She said her phone wasn't working and she wanted to report someone illegally using a handicapped spot. I asked her where the car was, since you could see the little wheelchair on my plate from where we were, and there was no other handicap spot in view. She points at my car. I asked what made it an illegal park job, and the response was that was where she always parks. Okay. I told her that was my car. It wasn't moving until my passenger came out, and it was legally parked. Good for her for standing up for herself. She stomped off towards my car, so I started recording her. When she reared back to kick the car, I yelled out that she was on candid camera, and I had her plate number if she demanded the car and tried to run off. She got in her car and drove away. About 30 minutes later, a city cop came by, stopped, looked at my car, and then drove off. So I assumed she found a working phone somewhere. Good for her for standing up for herself, man. Good for her. A lot of these entitled people will try to manipulate you. I've experienced it myself. They'll try to manipulate you. They'll try to use emotions to make you feel bad for them because now suddenly they're a victim. And good for her for not feeding into that bullshit. When you know something's bullshit, you need to trust your gut. And you need to really be vocal and tell people how it is. Don't feed into it. Don't try to be nice because you think it's the right thing to do. The right thing to do is to stand up for yourself. Far, far more important than trying to do the quote unquote right thing and try to, cater to everybody's feelings. So good on her. So this lady pulls up to a handicap spot and then says, hey, I always park here. No one else is allowed to park here because I'm the center of the universe. Bitch, what? All right. That's crazy, man. That's crazy. I thought this story was going to be about people who park in handicap spots who aren't even handicapped. And I've seen that firsthand. Let's be honest, man. These people are pieces of shit. I forgot I'm supposed to talk into this thing, man. Almost forgot. I'm trying to get this evened out. As you can see from the ash, it was not very even. What you usually do is you lick your finger and you rub it against the side that's coming down lower than the other side, so the other side can catch up. That's what I'm gonna do right now. Little tricks you learn in the hood, smoking blunts with cool people. All right, it's time for our second story. Neighbor thinks my car is his personal Uber now because our work routes match. Now, keep in mind that a lot of these things are misspelled, and I'm trying to correct it in my head as I'm reading it for it to make sense coming out of my mouth to you people. So if I mess up on any of these words, it's because they misspelled something. And in the title, they misspelled our. They spelled out instead of our, which I think is a little autocorrect, which I don't think is their fault. So let's see. Neighbor thinks my car is his personal Uber now because our work routes match. A few weeks ago, I finally bought a new car. Nothing too flashy, but it's a big deal to me because I've been saving up for a while. Got lucky from a slot win on stake of $9,000. Anyways, I was feeling pretty good about it. As you should. As you should. One morning, I was driving to work and saw my neighbor walking down the street. We're friendly, but not super close, and I figured I'd be nice. So I pulled over and asked if he needed a lift. He happily accepted, and during the ride, we realized we work fairly close to each other. No big deal, right? Well, apparently, that one ride turned into an unspoken agreement. The next day, I saw him standing at the same spot, clearly waiting for me. I thought, all right, whatever. I'll give him another ride. But now I'll spend every single day since that day. Rain or shine, he's there. No text, no asking, just standing there waiting. At first, I didn't mind too much, but now it's getting on my nerves. Some mornings, I just want to listen to music, zone out, or even stop for coffee without worrying about someone else's schedule. I even tried leaving earlier once, thinking he'd get the hint, but nope. Next day, he mentioned how he must have missed me. I don't want to be a jerk, right? Here we go. But I never agreed to be his personal Uber. I was just trying to be nice once. Now I feel awkward bringing it up because I don't want to cause any weird tensions with a neighbor. Would I be the bad guy if I just started running late or having meetings in the morning? Or should I straight up tell him I don't want to give him rides every day? Stop being nice. Stop being nice. Just stop being nice. You're not an asshole for being honest. All right? Let me repeat that. You are not an asshole for being honest. Right? The truth here is he's not paying you gas money. You don't owe him rides. He's not entitled. He's not entitled to you giving him a ride just because you work close to each other. Right? Now, the right thing to do, and this is something I've experienced with a friend that I've made in this area who I don't really hang out with anymore because it was starting to turn into this. I was like, well, hold on. This guy's not offering money for gas. This guy's not paying me for, buying me food. This guy's not really doing anything for me, and I'm doing all this stuff for him. Like, this is a one-way friendship. This is not going to work for me. So I stopped hanging out with that guy. This is the exact same thing, man. The right thing to do, like, hey, we live so close to each other. Well, I should say we're neighbors and we work really close to each other. How about, here's the fee for the bus that I pay every month to get to work. How about I pay you like this much a month? You can put that towards gas. And you don't even have to drop me off at my work. Just take me to your work and then I'll walk to my work from there. So it's not an inconvenience to you. And then, then this guy sometimes should offer to like buy breakfast or something, because this guy is making his life so much easier. But, this guy's entitled. There was no verbal agreement that this is a new thing. He just assumed that he's just gonna give him rights now because he has a brand new fancy car that I wouldn't say worked hard for, because he did gamble and earn the money, but I think the same logic applies. This guy's definitely entitled. Absolutely. He's not trying to do anything to make it right, to make it up. What this guy needs to do is be honest. A lot of people don't like confrontation. They don't like drama. And so they don't say anything. That's why a lot of people ghost people. And I get that. I've ghosted people in the past because I didn't see the conversation going anywhere maturely. And I didn't want to cause more problems. So I just ghosted people in the past. I don't do that anymore. Now I'm very, I'll tell you, like, I don't like something. I'll be like, hey, like, this is the way it is, man. Like, this is how I feel. And then sometimes you feel like people, they're going to try to manipulate you. You're going to tell them the truth and they're going to try to manipulate you and find some kind of, what's the word, man? Try to find some kind of solution when you're already over it. You don't want a solution. You just want to move on from it. And then try to manipulate you, make you feel bad about that too. And then, those kind of people you don't want to talk to. You definitely don't want to talk to those kind of people. If this guy has that vibe, he shouldn't talk to him. He should ghost him and move on, right? And then if he does text him like, hey, I thought we had this thing going on, then you can be like, no, like, well, I never agreed to be in your Uber, dude. Like, you're not helping let's be honest, you're not helping me out with gas. This does not benefit me in any way. This is actually a huge inconvenience, if anything, because sometimes I don't want to go straight to work. I want to go get breakfast. I want to just sit in my car and listen to music and just, fucking turn my brain off before work. Like, I don't want to stress out that I could be an inconvenience to your schedule when you're the one taking advantage of me in my car. I think it's very situational. Depending on this guy's character, I don't know him, so I can't say. Depending on the guy's character, he should either ghost him or be bluntly honest with him. There's no in between. Okay. This one's a little bit longer. Like I said, a lot of these posts are a wall of text. It's like reading a little mini novel. And sometimes I don't want to sit there and read all that. So I'm trying to keep all of these ones short so you can get an idea of what this subreddit is about. This one's called Ex So Entitled. She thinks I should be paying bills for her and the guy she cheated with. What? No. We don't do that. We do not do that. All right. Found out my girlfriend of 11 years was cheating. Okay. He spelled things kind of weird. He's leaving like words out and stuff. So bear with me. I'm going to try to fix this for him. All right. Found out my girlfriend of 11 years was cheating on me with an unemployed dude of all people. I'm not rich, but I provide her a good lifestyle. Paid most of her bills, provided a nice place, nails and hair done regularly, dates every weekend, couple vacations a year. She got used to that lifestyle and wanted to keep living it despite cheating with a broke dude. She didn't admit to the cheating. I caught on to it. Once it was clear I was done with her, the entitlement really started to show. She said because I had family in the area and she didn't, she should move out but continue paying the bills to give her the new guy a chance to get on their feet. What? She also insisted. Hold on, man. Hold on, man. Hold on. She said because I had family in the area and she didn't, I should move out but continue paying the bills to give her and the new guy a chance to get on their feet. What? She also insisted on keeping the dogs. What? Told me I could only see my own dogs if I asked the new guy. But since they didn't have any money, I needed to continue paying for food and vet bills. Instead, I kicked her out and kept my dogs. As you should, brother. Oh, man. What? I cheated on you. I'm going to stay with this guy who has nothing. And by the way, I can't afford this life, so you should keep paying for this and him. We're going to keep your dogs, and I need you to keep paying the food and the vet bills while we keep your dogs. What? What the fuck? No, dude, no. How do you get to a point? How do you get to a point where you're dating somebody who's taking care of you and you think no matter how much I wrong this person, I deserve to continue this lifestyle funded by them? If there's a God, man, if there's a God out there, hey, man, listen, bro, some of these people down here fucking suck. Get rid of them, bro. Get rid of them. We don't need them. Some of these people down here fucking suck, bro. All right, let's continue. Let's continue the story, man. At that point, she was angry. And still felt entitled to my income. After I kicked her out of my place, she claimed she was forced to quit her job because I forced her to relocate. And then she tried to sue me for lost wages. What? Oh my. Give me a second, man. Let me run that back, man, because that's a crazy statement. At that point, she was angry. What? And still felt entitled to my income. And then she sued him. And then she tried to sue him like it was his fault that she cheated. What? You think she stopped at this point, but she didn't. She contacted my work and threatened to sue them, stating, "Your employees' actions cost me everything." And try to insist they settle outside of court with her for $100,000. She didn't make that much money. Instead, my work filed harassment charges against her. Yes, good. She's fucking crazy. You think she stopped at that point? But she didn't. She started messaging every family member of mine that she could find told them I cost her everything out of spite just because she moved on with someone else, and that the least they could do is send her money to help her get a place and pay rent. Now it's his parents' responsibility to take care of her because she cheated. Oh, man. When that didn't work, she went online and begged for people to send money to her Cash App to help her with a place to live, and claimed it was the domestic violence situation. I don't understand how she didn't understand that any financial support I gave her would end if she cheated on me. Yes. We weren't married. We don't have kids. I've supported her for years. I owe her nothing. I really don't owe it to her to help her and her new relationship get on their feet and establish themselves, which seems to come as a shock to her. I feel so angry for this guy, man. He did so much for her, man. He said, I'm not rich, but I provided her a good lifestyle, paid most of her bills, provided a nice place, nails and hair's done regularly, dates every weekend, couple vacations a year. He was taking care. He was pampering her. He was more than taking care of her. This is a good guy. This is a good guy, man. He took care of her, and she took advantage of his kindness. And I'm sure this guy dating forward is gonna have a hard time trusting women. I do wonder how this relationship started. He could have been a huge simp in the beginning, and that could have enabled her to feel entitled to everything. He could have been telling her sweet nothings and being like, I love you, more like saying like that, like saying stuff like she could never do anything wrong and he'll always love her, and all this bullshit that could have filled her head with hot air and become the entitled bitch that she is. Or she's just an entitled bitch. I don't know. I don't know the full context. That's the problem with reading these stories online, is you never know the full context. I'm very much a full context person. I need to know all the details before I take anybody's side. But from what I'm reading, she's out of her fucking mind. Now, I'm happy to hear that everybody involved did not buy into her petty story, because she straight up just victimized herself. In her head, she was a victim. She made this guy a victim, and in her head, she was the victim. And that always comes with entitled people. They always think that they're the victim of everything, even when they're the wrong person who is doing something wrong to negatively affect other people. That's exactly what happened here too, man. Entitled people do not take responsibility for themselves. Entitled people will never admit when they're wrong, and never apologize, and will never do anything to make things right. They think they're the main character. They got main character syndrome. That's a real problem that we have in this world. And you can't really reason with these people. So best thing he could do is ghost her, man. Ghosting is an effective approach to people like this that you just cannot reason with. My heart goes out to this guy. This post was from 3 months ago, and I hope he's already healed and moved on from all of this. And going forward, I hope he he's very careful with his the way that he talks to women. He should be very careful to not make it seem like he's their ATM in any way, and that if she does do him any wrong, he's gone, and everything that he provided is gone, and she needs to find someone else to figure that shit out for her, because it ain't gonna be him. All right, so we have another one. This one's titled, Our Neighbors Have Been Having Pool Parties at our pool while we are not home for years. Man, man, do I hate entitled neighbors. The worst people you can live next to. A few years ago, my husband and I purchased a house with a pool. Now, we are acquainted with most of our neighbors, but definitely not close friends with any of them. They all seem nice, but well, just don't have much in common other than where we live. Next door to the right is a family of 6. Twin daughters attending the local university, so they're adults, high school age son, and a young elementary school age daughter, maybe first or second grade, and the parents. Okay, so we have 2 adult twins, 1 high school male, and 1 elementary student female child, and 2 grown adults. So we have 4 adults and 2 children. Now, normally we open the pool in early May and keep it open until the end of October. But this year our weather was off and we have had a very cool and very wet month of May, and then June went straight to 100 plus temperatures. Okay. I am currently on a medication that makes it difficult for me to tolerate being in the sun and heat for extended time. Plus, we have been helping 2 extended family members who are having health issues. So because of this, we haven't had our pool open yet this year. Okay, so this year they didn't open up their pool because of health issues for them and the people that they, I guess, invite over to use the pool. Normally we go to the family lake house for a few. Normally we go to the family lake house for a week during each of the 3 major holidays. But we didn't go for Memorial Day because there was flooding around the lake this year. And because a family member was just discharged from the hospital yesterday, and 4th of July being a Thursday, this year we decided to stay home this week and be available to help this family member. Okay. So because of all these health issues going around, they decided to stay home this year instead of going to the lake. Now, several times in June, this little girl next door has seen either my husband or myself outside, and she asked, when are we opening the pool? We first told her maybe later, but the last time, yesterday, she asked, and I said, we're probably just not going to open it this year. And she started crying. Now, we have never had any of the neighbors over to use our pool, so I didn't understand why she was crying over us not opening our pool. Very suspicious. Very suspicious. Well, I spoke with the neighbor on the left later, and apparently our neighbors on the right have been having a small family party at our pool every 4th of July when we are gone. They have always cleaned up really well afterwards because we have scheduled pool maintenance and weekly yard service. Occasionally things are moved around in our yard and we never thought much about it. The neighbor on the left thought we had given the other neighbors permission to use our pool. I see what's going on now. We did give them permission to retrieve any balls or toys that ended up in our yard, but we never permission to use our pool, especially when we are not home. We have a special latch on the gate, and my husband did show the neighbor how to open the gate to retrieve his kids' toys. I wonder which neighbor he showed them how to open up the gate. Is it the parents? Is the parents that are telling their kids to go next door to swim in the pool? So now my husband, who loves gadgets, is going to have several more cameras installed around the exterior of our house, covering the gate and pool area, and have the gate latch made where we can grant remote access for the pool service and yardmen. Luckily, we have a friend who does camera and home automation systems. Same experience with me. When you're dealing with entitled neighbors, you have to install cameras to prove everything. It's the only way. It's unfortunately the only way. I'm annoyed our neighbors have been using our pool without permission, but my husband is happy I am letting him get more gadgets around the house. Yeah, I get it. Now, do we confront the neighbors and let them know we know they have been using our pool, or just wait and see if they say anything about our new security systems? Entitled neighbors. All right. Now, I'm speaking from experience. And my friends watching this already know everything that's going on. But like I said, I'm not going to really speak on the specifics on YouTube. And so it's completely in the past and we moved on. But it's not. It's still going on. Yeah, when you're dealing with entitled neighbors, you need security cameras because you need proof of what's going on. Because they're so entitled, you cannot reason with them. They will lie and manipulate to victimize themselves. This is what entitled people do. They victimize themselves. They make you the bad guy, you the bully, you the asshole, and they're the victim. And they're just trying to live their life, even though they're living their life without consideration of their neighbors. So all you can do at the end of the day is do not have any social interactions with them. Don't. There's nothing good comes out of talking to them. So just blame you for everything and not take any responsibility for themselves. And you just put up cameras to prove everything because the cameras are the truth. They show the truth. You can't go word for word. He said, she said. It doesn't work because they will lie and victimize themselves. It's unfortunate. It's unfortunate we got to deal with people like this in this world. Very unfortunate. So it looks like I'm going to have to assume, I don't have context here. I have to assume that the husband showed the dad. Well, no, because if the kids' toys are getting thrown over the yard, then the kids need to retrieve it. So he showed one of the kids how to open up his gate so they can get their toys back. Then these kids saw they had a swimming pool. And they saw that these people weren't even home this summer. They're not home. They can't use their pool. Why don't we use it for them? It's the least we can do. It's the least we can do. We could use their pool for them. Put some miles in that pool for them. Don't want to just sit here and rot in the sun. You know, someone's got to use this pool. And if it's not my neighbors, it might as well be me. Fucking dicks, bro. People are fucking. Now, these are. It's for adults, man. I want to say these are kids. If it was just the kids going over there, I'd get it. They're kids. They need to learn how to be respectful adults. It's something you become. But there's 4 adults who could be, telling these kids like this is wrong. You need to ask for permission. We need to get in contact with these neighbors and say, hey, you're not here. We're just wondering if we can use your pool. We'll clean up after ourselves. Could we even maybe rent the space if that's something you're... There was a loud airplane flying by. Maybe ask your neighbors, hey, you're not here on the summers. We don't have a pool. We can't afford a pool. Could we, if you're up for it, could we maybe rent out your backyard this summer, just to use it during the day? No one will be there at night. We could pay you. We can we can do things in exchange. Maybe uh, clean your yard for you. You know, we can offer you something. It's not just us taking advantage of the situation. No, they didn't do that. They did. Nope. They went. They went on the rather ask for forgiveness than permission route, and that's never. It's never a good thing. It's never a good route to take. So yeah, I mean, they have the cameras. If they do it again, they have the proof that their neighbors are breaking into the yard and using their pool. It did sound like they were cleaning up after themselves after using their pool, which is nice, but they should have asked for permission. Damn, man, I just read through this entire last story, uh, and I didn't realize it wasn't recording. I ran out of storage and it stopped recording, and I just kept reading, and I'm gonna have to start all over now. Now this story is crazy, man. This does happen. Uh, this one's entitled Disney Mom Cuts the Line, so I get her and her kids kicked off the ride. This is a good story. I'm about to read this one to you. But before I do that, man, let me just say, if you guys want more videos like this, if this is entertaining, I'm trying to find fun new ways to bring entertainment value to this YouTube channel, because this is something that I do enjoy in my spare time. So if you do like this video, man, like and comment, you know, leave a comment. I think that helps, man. Comments absolutely motivate a YouTuber to make more videos because they want to read more comments from you guys. So if you can, I'd appreciate it. If you can't, that's fine too. This one is entitled Disney Mom Cuts the Line, so I get her and her kids kicked off the ride. Today, I visited Disney for the first time since I was 9 years old. Super fun day. Lines longer than I remember. But maybe I was just excited back then. My friend and I discovered the single rider lanes and took advantage of that due to the shorter wait times. And it did not matter to us to ride separately. As we were waiting in that line, a family of 4, mom, 2 daughters, and dad, walked through the middle of the line holding hands. Several people are disgruntled and asking what they are doing. Mom claims they forgot something on the ride. They make it to the part of the ride where single riders, fast pass riders, and the original line are all in a similar area. One of the ladies behind me screams, "What did you forget?" Everyone in the single rider lane is fuming as we all realize she's just waiting to get on the ride with her kids. So let me help you understand a couple of things. If you guys have never been to an amusement park, you have your normal lines, which is like the group line. And a lot of times groups will be uneven numbers. So you'll have like a group of 5 or 3, and there'll be that one extra person who is a 5th or 3rd wheeling. And then that person, because there are usually 2 seats a ride, they will need to be paired with somebody else who's also from an odd number group. So they created this other line called the single rider lanes. And it's just for one person. You cannot go in that lane if you're in a group. So then one person will get paired with an odd number group. And usually that single rider lane moves so much more faster than the group lane. So it is very smart that these 2 adults decided to just go in the single line riders lane and just enjoy the ride separately. It's not a big deal to them that they have to be together every time. It's smart. It's a smart system. These people are very smart. And then this mom, who it sounds like she knows what she's doing. She's done this before. She's pushing through the group line saying, hey, excuse me, we forgot something. Sorry, my daughter forgot something. Excuse me. Let me through. Let me through. They get to the front, and then instead of looking for that thing they forgot, they stand there like they've been waiting in line the whole time. And people usually do get away with this as long as nobody complains, as long as nobody in the line has the courage to say something. I've seen it at Six Flags. I've seen it at Disneyland, Knott's Berry Farm. It happens. Entitled people everywhere, man. They get shuffled into the pre-ride movie area before my friend and I. We are shocked no one brought it to any of the staff's attention. Meanwhile, all the single riders are trauma bonding over this lady's boldness and entitlement. So when my friend and I get shuffled into the pre-ride movie area, I tell one of the staff what their lady and her kids look like and what she did. He says, at this point, since they are already in the line to board the car, he can't do much. So again, this lady knows what she's doing. Once they're up there, once they're about to board the ride, they can't really shut everything down to kick these people off. They just let them go because it's too much of a hassle. We make it to the car boarding line, and lo and behold, there's the lady and her 2 kids. I stop yet another employee and explain the situation. She says she will let someone know, but walks in the opposite direction of the rider operators. Then one of the kids runs up to a man directly behind my friend and I, pulls on his arm and says, "Come on, Dad." We turn around, and Dad is behind us. He refuses to join his family, probably because he heard everyone in the line complaining about what they did. So Dad's ashamed. This is Mom's idea. Clearly this is Mom's idea. And he's like, oh shit, like Mom's about to get in trouble. Kids, I'm gonna let her just do her thing, man. She's crazy. I had enough at this point. I talked to the people in front of me and asked if I could go let the ride operators know what happened, because I'll be damned if they are getting on this ride. I asked the people in front of me to let me warn the ride operators, and they were all happy to step aside. Mom is blocking the walkway because they are next up. I tap her on the side and say, "Excuse me," and stare her down. She slides over without a word, and then I tell the ride operator, this lady and her 2 children cut the entire line through the single rider's line, claiming she forgot something. You can ask anyone in this line. She gives me the most evil, disgusted, shocked glare. I walk back to where my friend was, and another woman goes up to the line operator, verifying my story. Hell yeah. Disney Mom is trying to say both of us are lying. All right. Then everyone in the line starts yelling and telling the same story, determined not to let her or her kids on the ride. They were eventually escorted out the side door, and everyone in line clapped. Happy ending. People are entitled. So once again, this entitled human being tried to gaslight and manipulate when she was under pressure to take responsibility for herself. The dad, in shame, stayed back and decided, he was going to let the mom take the fall, and he was going to moonwalk out of that situation. And I don't know what the goal was, because that's just going to cause a whole argument at home. But we don't share this world with other people. It's just you, and everybody else is really just an NPC. Nobody's real. I'm not even real. This whole thing's a script. Everything's a script, man. So it's the world's your oyster, and it's your world, and everyone's just a part of it. And You're entitled to whatever you want. You're able to lie and manipulate to shape the world in whatever reality that you want, because it's not real. Nothing's real. None of these people have feelings, and none of these people uh, deserve to live a peaceful life around you. And god damn, man, this world is so broken. This world is full of broken souls. Now, I'm sure this mom must have been raised by parents who did the exact same thing, right? Is that how that works? Or or her parents so reasonable, such reasonable people, that she rebelled against it and said, "No, I will not have this. My kids will experience entitlement, and I won't have it any other way." I don't know, man. I don't know. This is why, guys. I built. This is why I built a little getaway. This is why I built a little getaway as all my comforts that I need to get away from people. And I know not everybody sucks. I know that, dude. I have some great friends. My family's great. Most of my family's great. I know great people exist. Our other neighbor is a great, wonderful human being who we've never had any problems with because they understand mutual respect. So it's just unfortunate when you have to deal with the worst of the worst. Anyways, I gotta end the video now. This video is gonna be like probably an hour long. I didn't think it was gonna take this long. I think if I do this in the future, I'll only read like 2 or 3 stories. I wanted to do at least 5 good ones that were kind of a bit different from each other, just to show you that entitled people come from all sorts of different parts of life, I guess, if you would put it that way. They're not just your neighbor. They might be somebody you meet at, in public. It might be, at Disneyland, or dealing with handicapped people. Handicapped people can also be like, it's not just a stereotypical type of person, and everybody, unfortunately, anybody can become entitled, and there's a lot of them. I feel like there's a lot of them now more than ever. I just don't quite understand how it got to this point. But anyways, I'm gonna end this video now. It's getting really long, and I'll have this video probably uploaded Monday when I'm back on Wi-Fi. And I think I made my message very clear. Entitled people suck. So I will catch you guys in another video. I'll try to come up with more ideas on what to do so I can try to get a weekly schedule going. Do this every weekend, upload every Monday or Tuesday, and try to provide the world with some entertainment. All right. Well, I hope you guys like the video. If you do, please like and subscribe and leave a comment. And I'll catch you guys in the next one.